Say sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dharma practitioners, you may have seen how the elephants eat fruits, so like bananas, pineapples, watermelons. You know, they can eat the whole fruit, everything without feeling. So, like monkeys, and there are certain birds, they can eat fruits. So wherever it is, and as it is there, that just by little part by part. But when you eat fruits, you cannot eat like that. As example, when you eat banana, you have to peel it. When you eat orange, you have to peel it. You cannot eat the orange like whole orange. And when you eat almond, you have to take that shell out. And when you eat watermelon, and you have to take out that outside layer. So when it comes to your meditation, the same. Remember that. So whatever in conventional life, whatever the ordinary people does and whatever the way they react, and maybe you have the very conventional life before you sit for meditation. But once you sit for meditation, once you determine yourself, you cannot do the same thing like you used to do before. So that is what the practice. So whatever the way that you react, and whatever the things you hold in your mind, is nothing wrong. But it is good for only that moment. But when you come to the meditation, what is that different from your conventional life that to this practice? It's like nothing wrong that elephant eat the fruits like that way. But when you eat the fruits, you cannot eat the whole pineapple at once. You have to peel it, you have to clean outside layer, and you have to cut to pieces. And maybe sometimes you add little bit sugar, the salt, or maybe little bit chili powder, pepper, so like that. So the meditation, when it comes a sensation, you have to do the same, you have to follow the same principle. You have to cut it, you have to take out the outside layer, you have to cut it to pieces and see. You have to observe very carefully rather than just go with it. That doesn't mean that going with it is wrong, no. But when it comes to meditation, that is not the method. That is why that is what you have to understand. Because there is a concept called law of pollination. So this pollination, there is always something exist waiting for the other part of it. So as example, that the bell is there, the bell itself, it cannot be there, and it needs this piece of wood to ring like this. That is where the bell going to be complete. And the paper itself it's a paper, just a paper, but how about when the pen come and meet the paper, it give meaning to the pen and it give meaning to the paper. Law of pollination. So it's always something there waiting for other part. And the cup, and it needs something to hold. That is where it become complete. So that is a very nature of this very conventional existence. It's nothing. That is a very, it's a kind of like a law of existing. So in your mind also, there are always you waiting to catch something, go with something, catch something, go with something. You cannot resist it, or you cannot criticize it. You cannot tell it is wrong. No, that is the very nature of it. But the thing is, there is another way that you can transform this same law, the same nature to something else. Rather than go with it, rather than the transforming one to one like that way, you can just observe, what is this? So from ancient time to today, that is what this meditation does. Rather than go with it, because it is naturally happening, rather than go with it, you just observe. And what is this? In that observation, you're going to experience something beyond that what you can experience when you go with it. So as example, it like this. So when you see the bell and this, suddenly, naturally, anyone that you come to a sound. It's just not the shape of the bell, or anything. You naturally you want to hear. So that is the very nature of the bell. And so that when you have desire to ring it, that's mean you just go with the nature. But when you see the bell, even though mind naturally bring a nature desire current to hear the sound, rather than go with that, you just start to observe and how this bell can give a sound and what is that mechanism. So it is totally different. Rather than having desire to ring the bell and go with the sound, you just start to observe and see yourself how this bell bring the sound. So to come to that level of mind, you need little bit of more attention and more awareness, rather than go with the paper. As example, when the children come, always they touch papers and then I gives a pen and then they just write it, something. They like to do that. So that's the very nature. But when it comes to you, if there is a paper or if there is a pen, rather than when you see the pen, there are symbols maybe come, there are things come for you to write, or maybe when you see the paper, there is ideas come to you, right? Or even that writing ideas is there. Rather than go with it, can you observe to see what is the very nature of this? How this function like this way? Why it come to this kind of form like this? So that is the very method of vipassana level of observation. So now when it apply it to ourselves, with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, whatever the perception come to us, rather than go with it, And we observe itself, how it arises in me. Why why this perception come to me, how this arises in me, and why it happened to me like this way. Because we don't do that. We always go with the outside. So there was a man, and he went to another city, start to work so hard, many years, and then he earned a lot of money. And after that time, he thought that this is enough for me. Now I can have a good life because I have enough money for me. So I start to come back. On the way, there was a thief. And this thief saw this man and went to him and had a kind of like a very friendly conversation. You know how thieves, how they get into the people. Oh, you look familiar, you look nice, you kind of like you have a good energy. So that kind of, things. And this person also get friend with him. And then he asked, oh, what is your life? What happened to you? Where are you? So then this man told, I had a life, very difficult life, poor life. Then I decided to go to the city and I worked so hard. Now, 10 years, 11 years, I worked so hard and I earned a lot of money. Now I decide to go back to my village and have a good life. The thief thought, oh, this is the man. I can get the money. So then he was so friendly with him and we became so nice, and both of them became kind of like a good friends. And on the way, by the time it was, evening, and then they had to stop the journey, and they found a motel, kind of like the inn, spend the night. And this man had, with the money, he went to his room. Thief also got a room next to his room. And he went there and waited till that man go out. So the thief waiting. And the man told, okay, I'm so tired, I'm hungry, I want to get a shower, and I go to the dinner. So the thief told, okay, you go for a dinner, and I am so tired, I'm going to sleep, thinking to get into his room. So that man, had the shower and went to his dinner. Then the thief entered to the man's room and start to search, look for money. He searched everything, but he couldn't find no money. And then he thought, what happened? Where is this money? What this person told? Because he told he had a lot of money. And then he couldn't find that. And then the very next day, start the journey. Now thief also going with him. So the second day came. And that day also the same. And they get into the motel, and then they're waiting, and the thief that day also went and start to look. He couldn't find any money. And somehow by the time now, this man with the money, and he reached to his village close by. And then now it's time to say goodbye to his friend. And then the man with the money and told, oh friend, now time to say goodbye. Okay, then see you later. This is my address. Whenever you want to visit me, please come. Anytime you are welcome. I'm going to have a good life and we can enjoy some time. So the thief told, because he's a very well professional thief and he couldn't get money. He was shocked and tired, confusion, and then told, By the way, let me tell you something. You know, I am a thief. I am a professional thief. And I have done many kind of things in my life. But this is the time I fail. So very first day when you told that you have money, and I became a friend with you to get that money, but I couldn't find. And the second day I searched, I didn't find it. Please, please tell me, did you say something, some lie to me? Or what happened? Where this money? Why I didn't find it? Please tell me. I want to know this. So then this man told, you know, I worked 10 years and I earned this money. I didn't lie to you. See, here, this money. And he started to show a lot of money. And then the man told, the very first day when you come to me, I knew you are a thief. I knew you are a thief. And when I go out, I always knew you're going to come and see my room. So what I did, when you enter to my room, I went to your room and I put the money inside your bed, under your bed. That's why you didn't see it. So the happiness, the success, the life, the beauty, the everything the same. Why? What is the mistake we does? We like the thief. We look everywhere. We search everywhere, but where we don't search, where we don't look inside us. So we don't look around the place where we are. Maybe we look the love, you know, everywhere through the Facebook and unknown people. You know, we look for the connection, we look for the friendship through this, you know, thousand friend list. But we fail to see the love in between the husband wife that we see each other every day. We fail to see the connection with the husband, wife, children, friends, and family members, brothers, sisters. We see every day the people we know. We never look that love, but we always busy with outside world. We always available for strangers, but we are very close to, we shut down our connection to the people we know. So that's when it comes to the enlightenment, also the same. So what you feel, you shut down, you don't see it. You project your mind and you look for something else somewhere. You go with the dreams. This, you know, when it comes, it's nothing. We cannot say it is wrong. Why? Because so far in the samsaric journey, we are like that. But the thing is this. Just imagine next to you there is a beautiful cow. Just imagine, you know. Now you listening to me, just imagine next to you there's a beautiful cow. And that cow gives the best milk in the world. Just imagine. Only you need to touch that cow gives the milk. So you want to have a tea with the milk. The best milk that have in this world. So now you imagine the cow is next to you, and then you want to have the tea. And just then you go and you make boil water and you make tea, the real tea. You make the real tea and bring it to you, because the cow is here, that what you imagine. It doesn't matter how big your imagination, this real tea, you cannot put milk onto this tea. Why? Because this is real, this is imagination. So if the tea is imagination, of course, you can make a good tea, and if it is an imagination, you can drink it. If the taste is imagination, you can have it. No one going to challenge that. You can have it. But there is a problem. In that imagination, in case something come to middle, something you meet, something real, cup or the tea or even the taste, if something real, then you're going to have a problem. All other imaginations start to come against that real moment. When the imagination is becoming bigger, 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 the reality having a so dangerous moment. And so when the imagination is bigger and everybody having the imagination and enjoying, you can have fun. You can have that. But when something becomes real, then the situation comes. So in our life, this imagination, it is so comfortable for us. And it is so good for us. It is so nice for us. But the meditation means you slowly start to become real. You start to experience, you start to see the reality. Of course, in the beginning, that imagination start to come against you. Not just your imagination, even around you, other people can make fun out of you. Oh, he's meditation. Oh, he's having this. Oh, he's going through this kind of like that. Oh, that, he's talking this, that kind of like weird things. They can have. But the thing is this. When you touch very tiny moment of little bit of reality, it doesn't matter how big the imagination, how powerful the imagination, you're going to be stronger than all that imaginations. So, but to get out of this imaginary world is a difficult moment. But still you can do it. That is what the Dharma, that is what the teachings help you. So to get out of that, you just cannot count on in the very conventional layer of time, experience, and the community of the Sangha or the people that you having, or what kind of monk you follow, or what kind of Dhamma talk you're listening. That kind of things doesn't work for this method. That is the difference in the Buddha's community of Sangha. How this is the method to seasoning your spiritual life. How you can season it, as you know, like a pilot. To become a good pilot, how many air times that when have, how many hours they fly is important. And to become a good captain, well experienced captain, how long, how many hours that he spend in that captainship is important. And the long distance runners, how long they run every day that is very important. Swimmers, swimming, how long you can, stay with the in the water and resist yourself with the current is important. When it comes to the soccer players, rugby players, how fast you can run is very important. How strong you resist that, whatever come against it is very important. It makes you a very qualified person to go into that. So then one day, Venerable Ananda came to Buddha and asked, Venerable Sir, there is that the concept having in this world, in the Brahman society, because that time that the Brahman society hold all the authority of the power and spirituality, spiritual life. So then it was a kind of like always a challenge, an example, and kind of like create a situation with the information, how to match it with the Buddha's concept, the teachings. So that's why sometimes when they're in that other side of the spiritual life, the community or the society, so whatever that they believe, they accept and they follow. And sometimes people come to Buddha and ask, oh, we used to do this, we heard this, and we learned this. So according to you, what is the different? What you talk about this, regarding this? So like that, they always bring the information from the other side of the society, mainly the Brahman society. So then that day, Venerable Ananda came to Buddha and asked, Venerable Sir, in the Brahman society, there is a concept, there is believing, there is a method, there is a tradition. So whatever the precept, rituals, disciplinary code, if you practice constant, that the non-stop, constantly, 12 years in a row without breaking, if you practice any rituals 12 years, you become a well-qualified Brahman. So as example, without killing or without telling lies or without sexual misconducting, without stealing, and even without intoxicating yourself. So like that, any precept. Not only these 5, there are many. You can even create one. So if you follow it to 12 years, and then you become a well-qualified Brahman. So then according to the Buddha's teaching, what is this? Is there any way that according to that the time period that a person can be purified? And according to that the time period or the how long you practice, it's going to be a qualification in the Buddha's community. So as example, that yesterday we had the interfaith meeting. So I went there and all other religious leaders came, and everybody very old. I am the only young person. Everybody came to me and asked, oh, how long, now you are a monk, oh, like that. Then, so when I told them, and they was kind of like, shocked, because I became a monk when I was a child. And then they start to say, oh, wow. Then I asked, why you say wow? No, because it is so long. But I told them, that doesn't mean that I'm a good monk. It doesn't matter how long you stay as a monk. It doesn't make any sense. It is just time. But to become a monk, there are certain things that in anybody, even you after very old, Even that maybe you have only one day to live in this life. And maybe there is another monk living 100 years already in this monk life. But there are certain qualifications you have to fulfill. So within one day, if you fulfill that, you're going to be the best than that monk. So that's why just becoming just as, wearing a robe or shaving the head or just, preaching to the, higher class people or, maybe having a lot of views on YouTube doesn't mean that Dharma is good. Or that doesn't mean that monk is good or that spiritual leader is good or that guru is good. So then what the Buddha said, even yourself the same, it doesn't matter how long you practice meditation, that doesn't mean you're going to be good in that meditation. And how long you keep practicing any kind of disciplinary code doesn't mean you're going to be good. So then what the Buddha said, what is the important thing? Where that you can season your spiritual life. How you can master yourself, your spiritual practice. The very first thing, there are 7 qualities. The very first thing is the Shraddha, the faith, conviction regarding the truth. How much the conviction that you, how much the faith that you carry in your heart regarding your own practice, how much you truthful regarding the truth. You can count on you. Don't look here and there. Don't count on others. You have to count on you. And see, when you sit for meditation, what you look, are you really look for the truth? Or is there something kind of like a cuckoo going in your head and look for light or look for any kind of something? Look, you will see. What you look for meditation, out of meditation, are you looking for a escape from any situation, or you really look for the truth? So not about the any person-wise things. Just always remember, tune to that. The truth exists in this bottom layer of the world as nature. Get into the very organic level of truth. Not mix with the ideas, the culture, the traditions, the believing systems. Not like that. What is the real truth? Have the faith for that. Go for it. Even you have to die for that, die for it. It's worth for you. Why? Because then you're going to born with it. Remember, what you die with, you're going to come with it. So that's why never going to go to death with the ignorance, hatred, anger, jealousy. Always find the something good when you come back next to make it more beautiful. So always be with the truth. Shraddha, have the confidence for that. Believe only, not believing this statue of Buddha, not believing, that the kind of like the puja or chanting or kind of like that. Even look at this in this situation came. So this virus situation came, pandemic situation came. So now there are 3 things what the Buddha said. Never pray, never do chanting, never look help out of chanting or the prayers or things for 3 things. What are those 3 things? Sickness or the disease, chanting, or you cannot get out of that. And getting old and the death. There is no way you can fix this doing chanting and doing prayers and doing pujas. You cannot stop that. It is illusion. You cannot do that. It's the very nature of the world. But look how we behave. Even sometimes when we get sick, rather than observing the sickness and recognizing and accepting we are sick, oh, can you do a little bit chanting? I want to get out of there, because we don't want to accept. That doesn't mean you have to accept and you have to die with it. No. But the very first thing, when you accept that, there is no resistance inside. In that very moment, you get out of that difficulty. All the sutras, all the chanting have the meaning to give a meaning regarding this nature. There is no any special power that beyond the wisdom. That is the pure level of foundation of the Buddha's teaching. But when it comes to culture, out of these 2,600 years, when it go through the people, it changed. It not only for the Buddhism, it happened to the God, it happened to the faith, it happened to anything. It happened to our humanity also. But still you have to remember. So whatever happened, when something happened, rather than looking for escape, look within yourself. And that is the best way to handle any situation. So that's why here the Buddha mentioned Shraddha, the faith, how much you have the faith regarding the truth. And the second one, moral shame. So the moral shame, the third one, moral fear. Because sometimes in a very conventional life, we always go against human ethics, and we always break natural laws. When you don't have fear to go against the human ethics and break the natural laws, we are always in difficulties. So to master your spiritual life, season your spiritual life, develop your spiritual life, second and third one, the practicing moral shame, and be shamed to go against human ethics, and be shamed to break natural laws. Never take it as a skill. Never take it as a kind of like the qualification to become a hero. Never validate that kind of things, even in anywhere in life. But today, when it comes to the society, in the larger scale around the world, and it became kind of like a social validation to break natural laws, go against human ethics. It's like that. And as you know, after this pandemic, and you saw that what happened, Israel, they start the war. And I was seeing that how when it go live, and how people comments, and what some people say, hey, go for it, go for it. See, it's like that. It is not separate from something. It's we that is how we are. That's why it's happening within us like that. But remember, you have to see yourself wherever it happens, whoever it does. If it is go against human ethics, remember yourself, teach your children, because those are the two things. When there are no religions, still the human, that entire, the living beings going to be survive out of these two laws. That when there are no anything, any laws, any rulers, even by yourself, you're going to be okay. When you don't go against human ethics, when you don't break natural laws. So moral shame and moral fear. Hiri and Ota. So never go against that. Whoever does it, it doesn't matter whoever the president or maybe your favorite person, singers, dancers, actors, actresses, whoever does it, never validate that. That is where it is not about them. That is where as a human being, you giving the best contribution to this entire human civilizations. Remember that in case, it doesn't matter whoever it does, in case if you validate that, you are become a part of ending this entire human civilizations. You become a part of ending the Buddha's dispensations, all the good dharma, all the good quality. So don't be a part of that. And the fourth one, the aradha viryo hoti. So that's mean, so whatever the profitable skills you want to develop, once you start, and keep going with it. Keep going, never, put down yourself, never get out of it. Keep going in that good path. And the fifth one, bhaustruto hoti, and start to keep the open mind yourself and look around. So when you practice meditation, don't close yourself and say, oh, I don't want to listen to this, I don't know. Always when there is something wise, if another person want to tell it to you, if there is an opportunity for you to listen and develop that and practice it yourself, it is a good quality to season your spiritual life. And the sixth one, mindfulness, satima hoti, and how much you are mindful regarding with your perception, with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. And the seventh one, panya hoti. So that's mean the inner recognition, form, feeling, sensation, perception, volition, and recognition. Understand how much you know about that. So these 7 qualities, if you don't fulfill these 7 qualities, conviction or the faith, moral shame and the moral fear, and the effort to keep continue and having open mind and mindfulness and the understanding or the panya or the wisdom regarding your inner experience. If you don't develop this, it doesn't matter 100 years you practice any ritual. When it comes to Buddha's teaching, you are zero. But it doesn't matter whatever the wrong thing you have done in the society. If today you come to the point to develop it within yourself, and you are become a well-qualified person to get into the community of the Buddha Sangha, wherever you are in this world, it is available for you. So according to the Buddha's teaching, this is the measurement, not the tradition, not the culture, not whatever the society believe. It is the inner development of inner cultivation of your own practice with the good qualities. So from today, whenever you have opportunity, try to season your spiritual life. Try to develop your spiritual life. Why? Because there is a moment come, we have to let go this everything. When that moment come for you, if you develop this your spiritual path, in that very moment, you can end with that highest form of human intellect. So with that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you, may no difficulties come to you, may no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, May everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavatvantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ittavata cha ammihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.